Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today we're going to be reviewing as well as unboxing the new iPhone smart battery case for the 6S, as well as its predecessor, the iPhone 6. And we're going to try to answer the question of whether you should buy this case now or wait for Gen 2. Alright, and to preface, if you guys want to win a brand new 4th gen Apple TV, just be sure to rate this video up and stick around to the end for complete instructions on that, as well as how to enter. So let's go ahead and go over some information about the smart battery case first. I'm opening up Safari here to Apple's specific listing for this case. It comes in two different colors, a charcoal gray, which I have right here, as well as a white variation, and it does cost $99, so it is a pretty hefty price for what it is. Remember, a battery case, especially when there are other third-party alternatives on the market that provide even more battery life than what this first-party accessory has to offer. So let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit, and you'll notice that Apple states, quote, charge your iPhone and battery case simultaneously for increased talk time up to 25 hours, internet use up to 18 hours on LTE, and even longer audio and video playback. So you can't expect to boost your iPhone 6S or 6's battery quite a bit. Unfortunately, they do not make this case in a plus size. So if you own an iPhone 6S Plus or a 6 Plus, you will not be able to buy a first-party Apple battery case. They figure that since the plus size has that higher capacity battery anyway, you won't really need it. But I find myself having to charge my iPhone 6S Plus kind of toward the end of the day anyway, so it would have been nice to have included the larger iPhone users in this product release. Maybe we'll get a bigger option with Gen 2, who knows, we'll just have to wait and see. So now let's actually get into the unboxing portion of this video. So it's pretty simple to take this guy out of the box. All you have to do is pull this orange tab here that is conveniently located at the top, and it will take that plastic right off. From there, getting a close-up at a better angle, you should just be able to pull it out like so to reveal the smart battery case sitting directly on top. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box here. And you will notice that inside we actually have some additional information on it. So let's pull this flap here, and it just tells you how to put it on with this simple infographic card here. There's nothing to it really. It just shows a diagram of actually putting the iPhone 6S or 6 into the case, and we do have a smart battery case booklet here as well. This just goes over some of the basics of the case, and we also have an Apple 1-year limited warranty, so we can set all of this off to the side. And getting a close-up of this case here, it definitely has higher Apple build quality that you'd expect. Aside from this kind of ugly bulge that you see in the back, a lot of people are referring to it as the hump of the battery case. However, I think it doesn't look too bad, especially for what it is. After all, most people buy cases, not even battery cases, just for the utility aspect alone. So this thing will not only protect when you drop your device. I actually have the regular non-battery iteration of this exact same case on my iPhone 6S Plus. I also used it on my 6 Plus, and it has worked phenomenally for protecting against drops. And since the battery doesn't actually extend across the entire back of the device, chances are good this will protect quite nicely against side impacts, which are the most common for actually dropping your iPhone. So this will protect your device. It also has that higher build quality, and the best thing yet is that you actually charge it and connect via a traditional lightning port. So you don't have to fumble with another cable like a micro USB cable, which you would have to do with other third-party battery cases. And another thing I'd also like to note is that these edges are reinforced with harder plastic. So you can see when I actually try to bend here, it doesn't really have much give whatsoever. The only portion that does is at the top, and that's so the iPhone can actually fit into the case. And let's go ahead and walk through some other aspects of this case. So atop of this battery bulge, we do have an Apple logo because of course this is a first-party accessory. It looks really nice with this charcoal gray color. And we also do have a slight incline here on this cutout. That's so that you can better take your images with the flash module on the 6 or 6S. So this is a really nice thing to have on the back area cutout. And speaking of cutouts, over here on this side, we have one other cutout for the actual mute or silent toggle, which is right here on the iPhone 6S and 6. We also have raised areas in the rubber for the volume rocker buttons, and like the top, this is also kind of flexible and has some give. Of course, that way you can actually push those buttons. And we only have one other thing over here on the right-hand side, and that is just for the lock button as well as the power button. Now, down below below, we have our standard lightning connection. This is actually how the case is going to charge it. And if we get a real close-up shot here, you can see that there is a minor cutout right there. That is actually for an LED. So when this case is fully charged, that LED will light up green. Now, because I did just take this out of the box, we can go ahead and see what it's at right now. So it does have an amber light. That means it's not fully charged. When it is fully charged and you don't have this case connected, that will be your indication of when you can disconnect it from your charger. So that little amber or green light right there. And we also do have a minor cutout over on the left of all of that, and that's just for the microphone, so it can better pass the audio along. This is typical of battery cases. And getting a shot from a different angle, you can see that we do have an interior cutout for it as well. To the left, we have a full cutout for the audio jack port, and on the right, we have a similar setup as the one for the microphone, except this time it's for the speakers of the iPhone. And on the front for the speaker cutout, it's kind of hard to tell, but it is actually a grill, so it's really nice, and it's not actually fully open, so debris won't be able to actually enter this section and pass through to the interior of the case. And one thing I wanted to mention before I put this case on is that I do have a full body protector on this iPhone, which are notorious for making iPhones not fit properly inside of other battery cases. So in accordance with the diagram, we should just have to pull this top piece down and then slide the iPhone inside of the case like so. And then we can just put the top portion back on, and there we go. It is connected, it is charging, and it does happen instantly. You do not have to turn this case on because it doesn't even have the ability to turn on or off. There are no toggles on it whatsoever. It's just fully on. And when you charge it, it charges both of them simultaneously. And you may be wondering, well, how do you tell the charge level? Because there are no other LED indicators on this case at all, save the one that's inside of it that just tells you whether it's fully charged or whether it's still charging. That's a great question. You can actually use iOS's built-in battery widget. So I'm going to click on cancel there, and you can see that the battery case is at a 69% charge level and the iPhone is at a 68% charge level. And this will kind of also appear on the lock screen. You may have noticed when I first put this case on that we did have that dual battery indicator the first time we connected it. We can also, of course, slide down on the lock screen to access that batteries widget, provided that you do have lock screen access to Notification Center enabled. But I wanted to show you guys that 2 battery indicator again. So let's go ahead and disconnect this iPhone just simply by pulling it up. It's very easy to actually put this case on. I'm super surprised, and Tim Cook said that that's the reason why we don't actually have the battery extend across the entire back area of the case, because it would be too rigid and it wouldn't allow for easy installation as well as actually taking the phone out of the case. So let's go ahead and connect it again, and we should see 2 battery icons once it connects, one for the iPhone and one for the case. The iPhone one stated that it was charging, and the case one just provided its current charge level. So let's go ahead and connect this to the lightning dock like so, because that's one of the things we can do since it does have a lightning port, which is really nice. And when we proceed to charge it, I bet on the lock screen we will once again receive that dual battery indicator. So let's go ahead and just connect this lightning cable to the back of this charging dock, and we're going to check it out. So it is currently charging both of them. You can see up at the top there, and I also received a notification inside of iTunes on my computer whether I wanted to trust this iPhone, because this is the first time I'm actually connecting it to my computer, and on the iPhone itself, it asks me to trust this computer. So that's another great thing. It actually passes the data along through the case. So you can leave this case on 100% of the time, and you can connect it to your computer, sync to iTunes, or do whatever. It will work just like you're connecting the lightning cable straight to the iPhone. So I'm going to tap on trust here to that prompt. We're going to go to the lock screen and see what we get. Now, unfortunately, it looks like we may only receive that dual battery indicator the first time we connect to the case. From there, you have to rely on the widget, which isn't too horrible. However, it would be nice for Apple to include that on the top of the lock screen, kind of at all times when the battery case is charging. Other than that, the batteries widget is a great alternative to actually having an LED indicator. I much prefer it. It keeps things simple on the case, as well as provides you even more granular information on the battery charge level of the case itself. So overall, I really like this case. I'm super impressed with it. I wasn't expecting to be. I really want one for my iPhone 6s Plus now. Really, the only downside is that, yeah, it does look kind of ugly. However, it's something that I think most people will definitely be able to deal with, especially considering it adds utility. It's more about the functionality of the case than anything else, and the bulge isn't too prominent. What's more, I've tested this battery case when actually putting it in my pocket, and it doesn't make too big of a difference if you put your iPhone screen down inside of your pocket with this bulge area facing the exterior of your jeans, shorts, or whatever. So in conclusion, for this smart battery case, if you happen to own an iPhone 6 or 6s and you find your iPhone running out of charge on a regular basis, definitely pick up this case. I really like it, and I much prefer it to third-party cases for a number of reasons, including the fact that it will protect better against drops and side impacts because it isn't fully rigid throughout, and it is easier to put on because of that as well. Also though, you do have access to that batteries widget, which is really great. The only thing that I wish Apple would have included is an off-on switch. This guy is fully on, so the minute you connect it is when it starts charging, and it won't stop charging until the battery is actually depleted. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Remember, I think that the functionality of this case far exceeds its ugly nature. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to be updated more often, such as when I release new videos covering various things, such as new Apple products and accessories, just be sure to click the subscribe button below next to my channel name if you have yet to, like me on Facebook, as well as follow me on Twitter. And to win a 4th generation Apple TV, just navigate to freeappsfast.com inside of Mobile Safari and sign up. It doesn't take long. Once you do, you can download a few sponsored apps for points. Just ensure that you do earn points. After you have, then go to the 3rd tab and you see that referral link. Post the unique part so it appears after the equals symbol in the comments section of my unboxing for the 4th gen Apple TV. I'll have it linked for you guys on your screens now. And until next time, this is ACU signing out.